Well. It was a very interesting week to be a football fan around here. And I mean, interesting. One team nearly pulled off an improbable victory, but the other team looked like a bunch of yutzes. And I'm going to start with the why, if you know what I mean. After a pretty decent and gritty performance against Penn State, even though we wound up on the losing end, we go out to suburban Chicago to take on Northwestern. And I'm starting to wonder, who's the one who does the defensive schemes for the Orange? Is it Shaper? Is it Bulla? Or is it, let's just say, Bubba J there of Jeff Dunham? Boy, did the Orange look horrible on defense. They allowed nearly 600 yards of offense. Almost 350 yards they allowed in the first half alone. It was like the coaches weren't ready. They let Bubba J or they let Jerry Lewis do the defensive call. You know Jerry Lewis. Get my personality back on. Oh, by the way, where's Dean Martin when you need him, Mr. Lewis? That was an absolutely horrid defensive performance. Who does Bulla or who does Shaper think they are? Greg Robinson? And while I'm talking about him, how about that with Texas? I mean, Texas fires their defensive coordinator after their horrid performance against BYU. So who comes in to be defensive coordinator of the Longhorns? Well, it's our old friend, Mr. Robinson. And let me tell you, you replace a Yutz with a Putz. And especially that's the way the defense looked. But I did come away with a little impression there. Terrell Hunt, I think, looks like he's ready to be the quarterback. On the lone drive he came in, he looked pretty darn good. Of course, some skeptics will say it was against the second or third team defense for Northwestern, but Hunt actually looked pretty good. Drew Allen, right now, he's struggling. 4 times he threw it to Northwestern's defenders. Hey, you had to throw it to the guys in the white uniforms and the orange helmets, not in the purple outfits. Hey, you know you were throwing it to Barney 4 times, Mr. Allen. Oh, you know what? He's the reason why the other dinosaurs are extinct, you know that? Man, we'd rather be dead than work with that guy.
Hey, where are you going, fellas? I got the ball. 4 times I got the ball from the Orange.
Yeah, we're going to kill ourselves, Barney. What a horrid performance. Of course, some people say Marrone lost his first 2 games against Big Ten schools. It's kind of following a similar path. And by the way, Orange fans, look for me in the audience this Saturday, Section 323, when the Orange hopefully get victory number 1 against FC Espo Wagner, who apparently had a lot of trouble handling a Division II school. Makes you kind of wonder, Well, enough scratching my face, 'cause that's what happens when I think. And I think Buffalo might be a little better than what people are saying. That was a gritty performance that they had Sunday against New England. Even with all the problems, even with the turnovers, and of course 2 turnovers who thankfully were turned back to the Bills. And I mean, problems can't stop them on 3rd down, which seems to be a regular trait with the Bills. And also, all the penalties, especially 3 offsides penalties, 2 penalties for illegal participation. Hey, Bills, these are penalties teams commit in the preseason. Clean this up, will ya? Plus also, Manuel looked pretty solid in his debut. Thing is, he checked down too much. What, he have a clipboard with him when he was on the field? Well, let's see now. Let's go to Mr. Spiller. Let's go to Jackson. Forget it. Thing is, hey, Marrone, take the training wheels off Manuel and allow him to go deep. 'Cause you know he got a couple weapons. Although Goodwin's out for a while with a broken hand, we got Graham. Hey, let's stretch the field for once. Throw it deep. But I digress. Manuel had a pretty decent performance in his first game as the Bills quarterback. We nearly beat those gosh darn Patriots. Of course, we got to pretty boy Brady. We messed up his hair twice. Boy, he's gonna have to go back to Giselle for some lovin'. And hell, we nearly ruined it for Mr. Hoodie, a.k.a. Bill Belichick. But I digress. When they were driving down the field, you could just feel the air go out of Ralph Wilson Stadium, and the air go out of me. I can't breathe. And again, Gostkowski rips the hearts out of Bills fans with that game-winning field goal. But you know, this team looks like it's going to be better than it was before. And we got Cam Newton and the Panthers coming into Ralph Wilson Stadium this Sunday. Excuse me, Fig Newton and the Cookies. Better than Iggity Aggity and the Oopses. Or I should say Iggity Aggity and the Oops. Oops. Yeah, that was a foul up. Well, I digress. Good showing by the Bills, even if it was in a losing cause. Well, let's go to a little bit of a winning cause, shall we? Kudos to the Mynderse Academy boys football team with their season-opening win over Lyons this past Friday. A gritty 22-14 win over Lyons. And two sons of girls I went to school with had a big combination on one play. Jared Coffey catching a touchdown pass from Liam Carhar. Thing is, I kind of wonder, did he take regular or decaf when he caught that touchdown pass? I mean, he's a nice young kid, and his mom, who was 2 grades ahead of me, Paula, works for the Seneca Falls School District and is very helpful. She was very helpful to my niece when she went to Mynderse. The thing is, I will say, Paula can definitely rock a sweatsuit. Heck, she looked great in her black sweatshirt and her white sneakers. And also Liam Carhar, who unenviably is taking over for Brandon Pasalacqua, who's now playing for the U of R. Liam is a pretty decent young man, and of course his mom, Wendy, once worked down here for the Seneca Falls Community Center. Thing is, I got a treat there for Wendy. Remember this? Let's go to the hop. Let's go to the hop. Oh, baby. I gotta work on the bass a little bit. But kudos to Mynderse. Let's keep it going against University Prep of Rochester. I'm gonna kind of finish this show with a little bit of a thing that concerns me. There were 2 things I saw with police around the world the past couple of days. First, they're at Buckingham Palace over in England. Thing is, they did have an intruder break into Buckingham Palace a couple days ago. But what did they do? They thought Prince Andrew was somebody else. And what do? They stop him, told him to get his hands up and get on the ground. Doing that to a royal. Boy, what is wrong with the British police? Of course, for the longest time, they didn't carry any guns. They just had their big top hats and their billy clubs. Thing is, if they stop the criminal, they'll yell stop. Or they'll say stop again. And also, what happened there in Arkansas? A SWAT team goes in and shoots a 107-year-old man to death. What was this SWAT team thinking? Of course, they claim, he was firing at him. Hey, what it look like? Was he carrying a Ma Deuce looking at the cops going, all right, I'm ready for your ass. 107 years old. That is a long, healthy life. Boy, what a way to end it in a violent way. Of course, the police around that part of the country can all be rednecks, you know. Ugh. That's the way I'm going to end this week. Oh, boy. Iggity, aggity, oops. I'm Ken Haas, See you next week.